Everybody, welcome back to the Crazy Channel. Chilly Willy here, aka Yellow Fox Body Guy. Name came from that car. Today is going to be a different video than normal. I'm just going to be sitting here talking. Today is the 28th anniversary of when I got the title for the 86 GT convertible. And the question I ask myself is, how do you still have this car? That's the question everybody else is asking me too. When I bought that car in 1992, I never would have thought I'd have had it 28 years. But I've still got it, and a lot of people, I know there's a lot of people new to the channel, and I want to thank everybody, you know, all the subscribers especially. I know I don't have super high numbers because I'm not always building, but I do have a screen man in almost every video. Sometimes I forget to throw him in there. Sometimes he's live, sometimes it's just a picture of him, but he is in every video. Camaro Man, my alter ego, shows up from time to time. And the car, when I bought it in 92, I drove it everywhere. But there was Fox bodies on every corner. I mean, they were everywhere. And I bought this one because I wanted something that was as fast as everybody. You know, I wanted to be able to keep up with the crowd. My dad told me I could drive the 68 Mustang till I turned 18, then I had to get something. So when I turned 19, I had enough money. I went and got this. And so there it was. That was the start of it. It was black. I put green neons under it right off the bat because that was the new thing in late 92, early 93. The neons came, and it had 120,000 miles on it. Like I rebuilt it in 97, and we pulled the engine apart, and I was always using Havoline. I always run Havoline in it, and the engine, the cylinder walls, my dad said, these things are in great shape. So all we did was hone it. We could have bored it out. We could have done stuff. We got talking with a guy about the E7 heads, about putting some of those on there. He said, you're only going to get about 20 horsepower. I'm like, well, what can we do to the E6 head to make it better? He says, I can shave them, pour them, and polish them, give you about 35, 40 on a good day. We don't know. It might only been 25 horsepower. We don't know. There was no dyno machines. I mean, very rare. But those heads have been ported. They've been shaved 30 thousandths. That doesn't make the engine a 306. It's still a 302. But that computer and the fuel management and everything is throwing the same amount of fuel into a cylinder that is now smaller than it was before, which increases power. That's what shaving the heads did. It brought it down, and you've got a smaller combustion chamber to make that explosion in, which is, you know, slightly more power. And it increased the car from 970s to 940s. Whenever we rebuilt it, I got down to 950, so 0.2 of a second in the 8th mile because of the shaved heads. They ported them, made the ports bigger, and he said they were better than the E7 head, and I agree. The reason I kept it is we drove it hard until 97, 98 it was in its prime shape for car shows. And I've always been a car show guy. I raced it for 2 years, and it was wear and tear. You're constantly buying something, constantly breaking, constantly wearing something out, and I got tired of wearing the car out. So I wanted to treat it a little bit better, so I went strictly car shows, and that's how it's been since 98. I ain't raced it at a drag strip since then, but in 99 it started acting funky. 2000 it was still a little funky, so I quit driving it quite as much. It got where it weren't running right. It started missing here and there, and I couldn't figure it out. I was no good at fuel injection at all then. So in 02 I parked it and only drove it about once a week just to keep the fluids moving in it. 03 I got married, and I had no money. We were broke. So I put it in under lean-to over on my shed, and that's where that thing sit for until 2017, late 2017. And I had kids, you know, I got 2 kids that come along, and after the marriage, and so I was really broke then. And if you got kids, you know what I'm talking about. And I just did not have the money to put on it, and I couldn't, it wouldn't even fire at all. It was firing on 1 or 2 cylinders, and then I just let it sit there, and I'm like, you know, I just don't have the time or the money. And so I let it sit there till 2007. Nobody was really seeing the car, because where I live, I'm out in a rural road in the middle of nowhere, up against the woods. The car, you could only see the front end if you're looking real good looking for the car. So it was never really out on display. Nobody really knew I had the car. People who knew me didn't even know I still had the car. I found out it was called a Fox body in 2018. You know, I knew there was an F platform, but it was not called the Fox body then. It was called the 5.0. You either had a Z28 or an IROC. Everybody like, what's he driving? He's driving an IROC or he's driving a 5.0. That's what they called it. Yeah, that is the story. The reason I kept it is just because I did. I mean, But I will get into the more personal side on that. The reason I will not sell it now, I mean, you would have to be a fool. 50 grand. Somebody asked me one day, what would it take to get that car? I'll take 50,000. That car is not worth $50,000 to anybody out there but me. And the reason why is I was wild and crazy back in the day, and whenever I started making decisions like, hey, you can't keep running like this or you're going to end up hurting somebody or yourself. This car was through that whole transformation, you know, of me and God. We have been through, we worked out a lot of stuff in this car. In '99, I had a cousin who died that was 5 weeks older than me, so we went to school together our whole life, and we were best friends growing all the way up, you know, right on up until high school. And he died, you know, unfortunately. And this car helped me grieve through that whole situation because it was tough. I mean, it was the toughest thing I ever went through. And this car right here, it took me through that. It brought me through that. So there's so many memories and so many things in this car. And if you got one, and you know what I mean, the reason I kept this one for 28 years, because I could have found a nice one. There's nice ones out there. There's so many first and last. It made it through my marriage, and I didn't sell it. You know, that's the good thing. I've got kids that love it. My wife loves it. The freedom of the top down. You know, everybody rags on the convertibles, but if you don't have one and you've never rode around in a convertible that's got a little bit of power, man, they are just awesome. Even convertibles without power are fun, but this thing right here is just, you know, you're riding around top down, you get to smell the fresh cut grass, the hog manure, the turkey manure. I live out here where there's, you know, there's hog houses and turkey houses. We get to smell manure. We smell, you know, you ride by restaurants and everything, you get all of that. It's just, it's all big intake, and the wind blowing through your hair, you know, and you get to see all the stars. And $50,000, I'm telling you, if somebody come to me with 50 grand, I would cry like a baby taking that money. And I don't know if I'd take it. Honestly don't. I don't know, because of everything this car has been through. I just don't see any, I mean, I'm sure there's an amount, because I can buy one of these for about $7,000 with a factory color or just a regular old color. I'd buy 86 GT, and I would buy it would be a convertible, and I would paint it exactly like you see this one, because this has been like this since 1993. In July or August, I painted this car yellow, and it has been just like this, except it had the Daytons on it, the Krager 15x8 Kragers on it. The car's been like this the whole time, so I'm not going to change it now. This is my throwback car. This video, like I say, is for the nostalgic people. Why would you keep a car 28 years? Why not? I mean, the memories, the highs and the lows, this car has helped me go out and clear my head, you know what I'm saying? You get to ride, and it just clears your soul to get in one and just drive around, you know. So, sorry, no burnouts, no car shows, no crazy stuff. Scream Man did show up. I saw him in the background. But anyway, I thank you guys for watching me, learning with me, helping me out. You know, sometimes I get critics, you know, oh, you're going to burn your cats out if you take the smog pump off. Well, they've been gone for 20 some years. I'm like, you didn't watch the whole video. Don't tell me what I'm doing wrong whenever you didn't watch my whole video. Watch the whole video before you make a comment, or else you're going to stick your foot in your mouth. But anyway, that's it. That's my car. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. That's why the reason I kept the car is just because I kept the car. I can't believe I kept it either, but I'm glad I did. It is awesome now. Now it's cool again. Back when I first had it, it was a cool car, and now it's cool again. So I appreciate everybody who watches my nonsense. The next video you will see after this will be the Beauty and the Beast show with the muscle cars. All muscle cars. Not all muscle cars, but a lot of muscle cars. And a chick doing donuts on a motorcycle and stuff. She was doing some crazy stunts. She does that for a living. So you'll want to check that one out also as it comes up. And I appreciate everybody for watching. God bless you all. Peace.